saw. I have to pull up the comment because it's just actually so hilarious to me. Give me just a second. A friendly Airbnb host welcoming you with snacks roleplay would be fire. From Mr. Boba Bro. That's just absolutely hilarious to me. That's such a good idea. I'd be happy to do that. That'll be a little later down the line when I get more comfortable doing roleplays. I'm gonna ease into it, probably doing like a doctor roleplay or something. So we'll see on that. But that's a really good idea. That's really funny. So yeah, I'm gonna finish off the Fortnite lore. I just got back with hanging out with my friends. It's like 11:30. I don't know how long this video is gonna take, and I don't really care because I don't work tomorrow because of Gamescom. I mentioned that yesterday because I'm a huge nerd. So I'm really excited for that because, you know, Black Ops 7, blah blah blah, I've already talked about it, but apparently the Division 2 will be talked about there too. So that's awesome. I'm very excited for that. So, I'm gonna get into it. Once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Like and subscribe, I guess. I don't know. We'll get into it. We ended off with, let me double check real quick. Oh, sorry, you're gonna hear my phone going off. My apologies. We ended off with Chapter 3, Season 3. So we're moving on to Season 4, Paradise. I'm thinking about maybe doing some hand sounds too, but we'll see. I might just yap. You know, to be determined. Alright, Season 4, Paradise. The island has become a twisted chrome paradise. We, no longer burdened by war, were too distracted to expect an attack of this size. Paradigm watches the remaining 7 be consumed, even while hiding underground, as she barely escapes using her flight jets. All chrome turns into solid and desolate constructs scattered across the island, a monument to our failure. Scientists have left tapes from Paradigm with a sweet goodbye, as well as a chance to save us all. Origin's last-minute battle plans to neutralize the alien source of all chrome, the Herald. Paradigm flies to the 0 point and aligns it to Reality 659, home to ancient 7 secrets that might help us save the island from annihilation. Behind this attack is a force opposite to the 0 point in all creation, the Nothing. The Nothing, by the way, is like capitalized, so like, you know, it's like a named thing. I don't remember if we ever figured out if it was like an actual like person, or if it's like an object, if memory serves me right. For like, I think the skin's name was Bites. I don't know, that might be wrong. I'm literally like skipping over it. Jesus. Maybe if I finish the paragraph before my thoughts. It literally goes over it, so excuse me. Yeah, the Nothing. Ever since the Big Bang, this hive mind has lurked in pure silence, recruiting devoted heralds to its cause with an empty promise of power. Now, after the Zero Wars end, it chose the right moment to strike. Beyond the herald herself, Bites is revealed as another chrome conjurer, and we can soon join them. TVs across the island speak of a power only obtainable if we devote ourselves to chrome, and the chance is ours for the taking. So, yeah, Bites is the skin, you know, he conjures chrome. It's very cool. It was a cool skin. It was a little goofy looking, but like the changing pickaxe was really cool. However, Paradigm will always be loyal to the island and its people, continuing the Seven's mission of defending the 0 point in freedom. In reality, 659 Paradigm can only communicate with us through Amy, and Bush Ranger's past connection to the reality sprouts across the island, as the actual 0 point has gone dormant. She reveals that her current location, Brutal Bastion, has scrolls that detail the process of zero fusion, a way to bond herself to the 0 point and awaken it with great power. And this leads us into the live event. It was titled Fracture. I watched the Fracture live event at work, actually. It was a little underwhelming, because it looked like it's like gearing up to be like a big fight scene, like how the Chapter 2 end event was supposed to be. But it just kind of ended up being like a boring cutscene. I don't know, but I didn't think it was like the worst one ever. To activate to signal which parts have to stay intact. Small objects from our past, however ordinary they may seem. Now, as the Herald prepares to destroy everything we hold dear, overwhelming our last stand at the reality tree, the 0 Point fights back with a massive explosion. The island is gone, fully taken by Chrome. Spies, floods, and titans have tried taking our island, and we fought back and won. Now our world is fractured into pieces as we're thrown into deep space, hearing only Amy and Paradigm's faint screens on the radio to wake us up, and seeing only a faint glimmer on the horizon, the now vulnerable 0 Point. The Herald's purpose was to sacrifice herself by consuming our island and leave the 0 Point free for taking. But Paradigm is faster. The dormant 0 Point embraces us with its arm like strands as we help retrieve its energy so that it can build another island to surround itself, built with chunks from different worlds. Only one faction could have been responsible for this, the last reality, whose emblem even displays the chemical composition of chromium. However, they failed once again. Now, Paradigm lies exhausted from zero fusion, having led Brutal Bastion and other snowy pieces of Reality 659 into this new island by herself, to equip us with all the Seven's past knowledge and prepare us for the future, one without the Seven. Amy swears to rescue the scientist and others one day, still missing after Chrome, as we mark the end of an era. Chapter 3 was really good in my opinion. The story got a little confusing because there were some things that I saw that were out of order. But yeah, I think at this point in the Fortnite storyline, the Seven are still missing. Maybe they'll come back as like a Deus Ex Machina, but we'll see. This leads us into Chapter 4. Chapter 4 was a little odd, because, at the very end of it, we got Season OG, which was super interesting. I really enjoyed Season OG, and then it brought back, the permanent OG mode at some point because of how popular it was. But, they're doing, I think it's monthly, so every month is a new season, if memory serves me right. It's like a mini pass, but pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, this leads us into Chapter 4, Season 1. There's no name attached to it, so. Our new reality is forged with many worlds taken from time. The Citadel, a kingdom lush with autumn leaves, and domain of the Oathbound. Thawed remains of Brutal Bastion, once home to the reality warriors, as well as medieval squares, forges, and villages. Even though familiar faces and objects have traveled with us, Jones is stranded among the stars while Paradigm is missing. However, her sacrifice gave new life to the heart of our island, the 0 Point. Once housed in the Imagined Order's vault, then freed by the Seven to relax in Loot Lake, the 0 Point had never been directly fused with its surrounding island until now. Veins of celestial power are imbued into this island's very core, making each piece of stone valuable. Our new island residents are quick to make use of it as the Oathbound sets up a mining operation in shattered slabs. While their plan with the newly found kinetic ore remains a mystery, the Oathbound imbue their own technology with it, creating powerful shields and weapons like the new Shockwave Hammer. The Shockwave Hammer was really fun, but when it first came out, I think it was kind of busted, if memory serves me right, but it was really fun. Natural kinetic ore repulses any received energy, knocking anyone right back, just like shockwave grenades. These deflective abilities become even better once the ore is refined, a process learned by Stellan, Rift Warden of the Oathbound, a man haunted by visions of a shapeless man. Like, if you showed this to someone in like a 2018, they would be like, what are you talking about? What is going on? Who is Stellan, Rift Warden of the Oathbound, and why is he haunted by visions of a shapeless man? That's insane. That's a crazy line. Like, what? Stellan consults the stars for guidance on how to best evolve the kingdom. Stars that seemed aligned with the 0 Point itself. Meanwhile, past and future collide as Amy returns with good and bad news. paradigm had prepared to protect us in the future, bringing past 7 knowledge with brutal bastion and one final mission for us all, to discover the true power of kinetic ore. The Oathbound are reconstructing a device which Amy can use to test the ore's limits, the Rift Gate, a portal to the other worlds. In fact, the Oathbound's dangerous experience seemed quite familiar. Refined crystal panels that align energy into portals, and visions of a man without form, the Oathbound's king, the immortal ageless champion, is the past version of the IO's tyrant founder, Geno, a few centuries younger. After the Zero War, Geno had been atomized by an uncontrolled zero point. In an attempt to rebuild himself and his empire, he's haunted someone from his earlier past for centuries. Stellan. Dope. So this is about the part around the time where I just stopped paying attention to Fortnite lore, but I should have, because this is cool. To conduct her test on the unfinished Rift Gate, Amy had sent through it a few plushies with trackers. Upon their return, these drones spewed ominous omens of the Seven's fate, including her beloved scientist. The last reality has them trapped, reshaped by Chrome, and Amy can't let that happen. She builds a robot body to cross the Rift Gate herself and bids us goodbye for now, as Stellan enables the unstable Rift Gate, a death wish of the shapeless man, tearing the sky apart. Just as the Seven had once been the reality warriors, the IO had once been the Oathbound. Now that our past has caught up to the island, all is mixed into a new beginning. Wow. Yeah, so this is when I just kind of viewed Fortnite as a game to grind rather than a game to have fun in, and I shouldn't have done that, but I've come back around. See, as an OG made me kind of reflect and be like, okay, I should be playing this game to have fun, not so I can just mindlessly get up to level 200 and then never play the game again. But oh well, we'll cross that bridge. But this brings us into season 2, titled Mega. So yeah, season 2. No longer haunted by shadows of our own, the island now faces the past and the future of another world. Mega City. The neon-lit metropolis shatters the sky, crashing down from the tear made by the Rift Gate, but lands gently on the island. Apparently, its arrival was planned. Stellan had set the gate's destination to somewhere foretold by the stars, but someone changed it. Evie, vigilant of the Peace Syndicate, asked Jules to bring her hometown, Mega, instead in a call for help. Ancient clans and their rivalries come, intertwined with Mega City's history, the stoic River Guard, the clever Luminaries, and the island's familiar Fox Clan. Drift, the old fox, returns to train the Fox Clan's young recruits, such as Stray, the same mysterious clan from which Drift's powerful mask had come from, given to him years ago. Mizuki is Empress of the River Guard, one with a grudge as ancient as the Fox Clan itself. Speaking of the past, Drift's was quite the journey. After he left his road trip with Bright Bomber to seek purpose, Drift ran into his multiversal self, Catalyst. Together they were chased by Vi, a desperate Fox Clan hunter who taught Drift his legacy. He never knew the origin of his mask, only that it gave him enough power to protect those he loves. Now, after Drift agrees to help rebuild the clan with Catalyst, Vi warns them both of the coming darkness that hunts anyone with a mask of power. They escaped, but the last reality invaded the island just the same. So, it's a short flashback to what happened with Drift and his Fox Clan. Super cool, by the way. Mega City is under sabotage. Evie and her boss Thunder believe that someone is conspiring against all syndicates for war. Evie asks for her help to gain each clan's trust in the hopes of uniting them due to wrong accusations seeded to break them apart. Thunder's sushi restaurant, Gila, serves as the site of peace talks between the River Guard and the Fox Clan, both of which agree to a truce. However, files from the Peace Syndicate's servers were also hacked and erased, files that detailed their encounters sabotage, and their technology is stolen. Mystica helps us retrieve the stolen goods, as well as finally uncover those responsible. The unseen. Excuse me, sorry. Mega City can be a city of chaos, but it was built by the syndicates and their peace. Even so, one of them, the unseen, had always risked innocent lives with their actions, led by Highwire and Renzo the Destroyer. Now they have partnered with a fleeting shadow, Triarch Nox. He fabricated the city's undoing so that the last reality could take it, which goes against the unseen wishes. All they ever sought was power. Excuse me. My eye is itchy. My apologies. Hopefully at some point I'll stop getting those coughing fits. I don't know where they're coming from. I got sick last week. I think you can probably see it in a couple of the videos I recorded. But like now there's like something stuck in the back of my throat and it just keeps causing me a cough. So sorry about that. Hopefully I can stop it, before I cough right into the mic. Hang on, I'm gonna crack my foot. Maybe I'll be able to hear it. Probably did. That was loud. Oh, sorry, try not to hit the metal part of my microphone. Give me one moment. Alright, here we go. Long ago, Nox was one of the 3 monarchs in a galactic kingdom. He was then consumed by the Nothing, a cosmic force that hungers for the power of stars, and chased to the island by Triarch Aurora, the last person to ever trust him. However, he was once good and kind, something the syndicates can still be. As such, with all in agreement, the syndicates are finally at peace, choosing to protect their world from the last reality together. Instead, as Highwire cuts all contact with Nox, the Syndicate War becomes history as we prepare to unearth a deeper secret. A city below the earth cracked open by the weight of the newly rifted, now united, Mega City. This leads us into Season 3, and I remember loving this season. It was so much fun, because of the boomerang. The boomerang was so cool. It was absolutely sick. The dirt bikes were cool. I remember the battle pass being absolutely sick. And Optimus Prime, obviously, like, cool, So, great Season 3 titled Wilds. Earthquakes reveal a sinkhole of secrets in mounds of dirt, temples, and jungle. A lost civilization brought by the island's forging. A city that once belonged to the ancients. A society of innovators who all vanished, leaving their work behind, had been buried all along, hidden with a warning. Meanwhile, Aurelia, dweller of these unearthed ruins, steals an artifact from Mega City. An artifact from Mega City. The Chalice of Catastrophe. What? The Chalice of Catastrophe, brought into the island by Dahlia from the unseen, wished to be found. The forces of darkness, too familiar to our island, lured Aurelia to it due to her affinity for gold. It was discovered by the luminaries while exploring the island's wilds, such as Lorenzo, a newcomer quite similar to the cyborg Renzo, as well as Trace and the Nomad era. Aura needs our help to find the chalice before its power is unleashed upon the island. After asking for tribute, Aurelia accepts an offer of gold bars to return it, as we finally put her wandering spirit to rest. Yet these ruins are but a distraction to the dangerous lives of those on the island, who begin to rebuild after the earthquakes. These are under the title Snapshot Quests, so I'm guessing just mini quests or whatever. Triggerfish and Princess Brine notice that the coral buddies have been kidnapped. After extensive research of coral DNA, we discovered that Dirk and Riptide were behind the fishy matter. Lorenzo, however capable, was guided to our island by the ranger, Rian. I think it's Rian. It's either Ryan or Rian, but it's R-I-A-N, so I think Rian. Out of suspicion, Lorenzo then hires Nia to spy on her and selling his findings to the unseen. The Ageless lost much of his kingdom to the island's sinkhole, such as Anvil Square. To reassert his control, he hires Volpez to eliminate enemies like Snowheart and Frozen Red Knight. Speaking of royalty, once bounty hunter Lexa and her brother Orin, now princess and prince of the Ageless Kingdom, discover the troubled cosmic being Astria, who just wishes for peace. So that was under just like snapshot quests. So like I'm just like I would say like filler story would be the best way to describe it, but it's not like filler because it's like kind of pushing the story along. So meh. The island has always been our refuge in the stars, but refuge never lasts. While Trace studies the remnants of the ancients, he discovers prisms made of kinetic ore, the island's bedrock. A mural is also discovered with a warning left by Optimus Prime. So crazy to me. Leader of the Autobot kind. He tells us that our island is doomed to collapse, and that he has made contact with someone from our past to save us. Sloane, who was once punched by the mecha while attacking us with her tank on the collider, is alive. While her tank rested, becoming a jungle relic, she too had been studying the ancients in hiding. The former head of the IO's island team had been gravely wounded, but she was saved by another researcher, Relic. He, an independent force of science, used the ancients' technology to save Sloane. After disagreeing with the explorers over what should be done, Sloane agrees to help save our island, regretful of her once blinded devotion to Geno and his order. Among the jungle ruins, she discovers the apparatus, a type of telescope left by the ancients that uses the kinetic ore prisms as lenses. Optimus Prime, through unstable transmissions from across the galaxy, tells us that our future lies among the stars, a secret kept by the ancients that vanished as they did. The stars are fading, and so is the island's heart. The 0 point, the cosmic orb, is now petrified, its fire extinguished by chrome and exhausted from the creation of our new world. By using refined kinetic ore for the apparatus lenses, it works, unlike the failed Riftgate, but not as a telescope, as a projector to the clouds. While waiting for a sign, Sloane studies the murals etched by the ancients. All along they spoke of a prophecy, the ancients' secret, a warning that evil will eclipse the sky. As the constellations align, they become a compass for someone obsessed with relics long forgotten, an immortal, time-traveling vampire. Damn. Crazy. I forgot what led into Season OG. Absolutely wild. Yeah, anyways, that brings us into Season 4, titled Last Resort. I loved the last season before this. I loved this season. This one was just as fun, if not, it was more fun than the last one. Because it's kind of like a heist season. Not really, like it kind of was, you know? Anyways, yeah, Season 4, hang on, I'm gonna clear my throat again, my apologies, I'm so sorry, Mr. Unprofessional again. Yeah, sorry, okay. Season 4, Last Resort. Cato Thorne has arrived, foreboded by the ancients, his last victims. This eccentric leech is the island's secret salvation, if he doesn't take it first. While the island is overshadowed by the unnatural eclipse of a blood-red moon, our last resort is to gather a group of unlikely bandits to heist Thorne's new facilities, in hopes of finding whatever technology he uses to travel through time. If we can escape our present, we can dive into our past, something that Cato has done many times before, collecting memorabilia from throughout the island's histories to hoard quite an extensive collection. An old calendar of the island's... Wow, there's like something really stuck in there. My apologies, I'm like fighting it off. An old calendar of the island's ancient loop history, Oro's skull, and Midas's right hand. Among Cato Thorne's properties, Eclipsed State, Sanguine Seats, sanguine sweets, and the relentless retreat. His estate is the most valuable, yet none are vulnerable. Each location is equipped with high security, such as henchmen guards, security turrets, cameras, and vaults. However, given the whispers of a time machine, the island's most clever criminals consider that a challenge. Nolan Chance is a mastermind of crime, and Sloane hires him to steal Thorne's secrets at Next, as they're the key to saving our island. After many islands, residents decline to be a part of his crew. Nolan must make amends with crew members from his past. Antonia is an expert thief and former partner to Nolan. Before he abandoned her in the middle of a big score, Nolan says he's sorry, and she loves his groveling. Piper Pace is an excellent mechanic, saving up a pizza pit delivery tips to become a pro circuit racer. She's our driver. May is Fishthick's best friend and an expert hacker. To catch her attention, we find her second favorite activity: pretty explosives. Fishthick, cousin of Triggerfish, is a hard-working muscle show with a hard code. He's in this because Nolan funded his new gym for the recently saved Coral Buddies, and to also heist the once great Slap Juice franchise back from Cato Thorne. With May's help, we discover Thorne's secret vault is powered by chronocells. After a quick in-and-out heist, we learned that they can be powered by rifts and sabotaged. Soon after the crew is all gathered, we plan for the final strike. Thorne reveals his true Revenant form, usually hidden by his jewelry, as his eclipse goes stronger. By distracting Cato Thorne and disrupting his empire, his hoarding days are no more. The crew successfully heists a time machine deeper from his eclipse estate's inner sanctum and into our barn hideout, with the help of May for firewall breaching, Fishthick for actual wall breaching, Antonia for support, Piper Pace for driving, and Nolan Chance's scheming. Meanwhile, the vampire hunting high-stakes club deals with monsters on their own. The leader and tactician Joni, the barista huntress Elsie, and the rebel Lucian have found a family in each other while protecting the innocent in the cowl of night. While not on missions, the trio relaxes by attending concerts from Starfang, an international rock star, only to one day find out that her fangs are quite real. The devastated trio unites and hunts Countess Daraku, fully revealed to be a centuries-old bloodthirsty vampire. What? I don't remember this. Wow. They succeed and only grow stronger, now mentored by Victoria Saint and joined by old friends like Minato Hikaru. Had our crew not been gathered by Sloane's, this ragtag bunch would likely try to kill Cato themselves. Oh, okay. Cato Thorne's vampiric powers. Oh, I see. Cato Thorne's vampiric powers come not from blood, but from his possessions. Now that we've stolen everything from him, Sloane had only bought a time for the inevitable arrival of Shimmer Dusk, a professional hunter from across space and time, and his longtime rival. Left vulnerable without his time machine, Cato had retreated to his inner sanctum. We destroy his properties with a Shimmer Dusk for a final face-off at his sanctum, striking with a killing blow, thus ending his reign of terror and avenging the ancients. Time is now safe from his meddling, but not from our own. Jones finally lands on the island, floating in space ever since Paradigm's reshaping of it. As we bid farewell to both this island and our crew, now we use the time machine and head to the past to save our future. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. This brings us to Season OG, which is, in my opinion, 10 out of 10 because the story is just so cool. The map was awesome. Everything was just perfect. Absolutely perfect. Like a cinema, down to every last detail. But yeah. Season OG, titled Back in Time. Pleasant parks and faster than before, and old island legends are renewed. Renegade, Lynx, Omega Rock, and Lul Split, to name a few. However, nostalgia can't blind us. We're here on a rescue mission. Nostalgia blinded me. In the present, the petrified Zero Point is almost dead, calling out for help in whale-like cries. In the past, the Zero Point is intact, protected by the vault until it wasn't. The events that led to the Zero Point's exposure are just the right time for Jones's own heist. Sloane, trusting Jones, had planned a strategy to save our island. She recorded a tape the night before he left, which time modifies many times. Any wrong steps or butterflies change the course of the future, but not dramatically. We can't shape time to our liking, but we can ripple its waves just enough. Jones can extract the Zero Point during the cube's attack on Loot Lake, in which it opened the vault to drain the cosmic orb's energy to replace it in the future. Sorry, that was a quick one. It was just something small. Pause. It was like a small throat clear. Get your mind out of the gutter. However, while Jones moves the deactivated time machine that traveled alongside him, each small change made new versions of Sloane's tape. She was time-sensitive enough to account for them. This leads us into the event. Because it was like super short. It happened, I don't even remember. It was like a couple weeks. The Big Bang. The Big Bang. The Big Bang. Now, we must return the Zero Point back to the future so that a new island can be born out of ashes of ours. To do that, Jones finds a familiar spaceship at Dusty Divot. The island's past is so frenetic that it's already reached its own ending. The scientist's rocket is built for the end, just as the frozen meteor also appears in the sky. Jones straps the time machine, currently out of battery, onto the rocket, hoping that a rift will be enough to charge it. Sloane knew that by sending Jones through time, past and present would be rewritten. In her tapes, she says goodbye to Jones's past self. At this time, working under Sloane at the villainous I.O., now replaced by a hero, and to her present self, also a hero, finally on the right side of history. And the countdown begins. The rocket takes off, sending a big cloud of smoke erupting from Dusty Depot. As it begins to fly, it begins to change. Glitching in and out, the time machine turns into a Durburger, a llama, and a shark, among other things, before tracing the exact same paths as the 7 rockets once did. The past always in service of the future. The sky pours a rainbow of colors, and the rocket hits the Zero Point, becoming a black hole that consumes us once again, until it spits us right back out with an explosion of life. Once the island was the center to all realities, but now it houses galaxies of its own. Brick-built adventures, a world of song, and dangerous car races. So that was like Lego, obviously. World of Song is a Fortnite festival, and then rocket racing, dangerous car races, which to tie in their like metaverse and like lore stuff is kind of a cool way to do it. I'm not gonna lie. So points to Epic for that. As the Zero Point's outer shell is shattered into pieces that will soon travel the cosmos, we arrive on a land of hope. And that ends chapter 4. I mean, cinema, truly. I mean, that was a really good ending to a very, very solid, like a short, condensed season, So, this brings us into chapter 5. And this will be the last chapter because the website that I'm using doesn't have chapter 6 yet. Obviously, because chapter 6 isn't done yet. So we only got 4 seasons, and then that'll be it for the Fortnite lore. So, I mean, obviously, when the chapter 6 part comes out, I will make a follow-up, but for now, I'll probably put like ASMR Fortnite lore part 3 in for now is probably what I'll put, or something like that. I don't know, we'll see, to be determined. But season 1 underground, season 1 chapter 5 underground, yeah, however you wanna phrase it, yeah, titled underground. This one was really cool. This was like this was like the next peak of Fortnite in my personal opinion. Like the battle pass, the map, the loadouts, like the guns, the medallions, all really cool. Like for It's a dream to be popular. Sell her soul to be popular. I heard that a lot. So, you know. Anyways, Season 1. Underground. Among endless galaxies, ours always has conflict. The new island, dotted with olive trees and grapevine bushes, is split into the underground below and the society above. The street-level resistance, led by hope, is one of art and freedom. The mansion-high society, led by power, is one of riches and control. Their first mistake of many is disrupting the island's peace by kidnapping Peely. Jones, after learning of his disappearance, becomes Vengeance Jones, a scrubby-looking anti-hero. He will do anything to save his best friend from the society's evil clutches. While the underground is a clear leader in hope, even if she doubts it, the society is much more fractured. Like a diamond, each facet of the organization is faceless and led by interest. Montague, protected by a powerful gem, is the society's creator, and the one to suggest its emblem, an all-seeing eye of hidden by power. Valeria, Hope's sister, believes she's the rightful leader of the group, flaring her emperor powers. Oscar is the feline muscle of lavish lair, hiding powers of lightning equal to the gods themselves. Nisha is a swordsman of impeccable skill, heir to the island's flowberry farms and fencing fields, and reluctant keeper of Peely. And Peter Griffin insists upon himself, yet is a mix of all of the above. Oh my god, dude, I forgot this was the Peter Griffin season. And whoever wrote this in the website is a genius. It's so funny. It insists upon itself, Lois. It insists upon itself. Wow, Peter Griffin insists upon himself. That's so funny. 10 out of 10. Cinema. Tears are welling up in my eyes. I hit the mic, I'm sorry. I'm getting too excited about Peter Griffin. After practicing with the island's newest weapons and medallions. I'm so sorry I keep pausing. It's late. I'm very tired. My apologies. Sorry, I got some texts, you know. Hang on, one moment. I'm gonna keep whispering into the mic. I'm whispering. Sorry, my apologies. I know, very unprofessional of me. I am Mr. Unprofessional, after all. But I gotta stick with yapping ASMR, because that's what it is at this point. So I can't switch to Mr. Unprofessional ASMR, you know. Although, take that name, it's a good name. Someone take that name. Let's see. After practicing with the island's newest weapons and medallions, ancient gems of once buried power, Jones and Hope rescue Peely and learn of the society's true intent. They stole our banana to blackmail Jones, hoping that he'd reveal the secrets of the island from his illustrious past. All members of the society are heirs to power, some undeserving, such as Valeria and Montague, and some unwilling, like Nisha, and those with power only seek more of it. However, unknown even to Jones, the island's dirt hides something far different than the 0 point, a colossal, celestial being. The more is revealed about this family field, the smaller it becomes. The sisters, Hope and Valeria, are bonded only by disappointment in each other. Valeria seeks power beyond her flames and believes to be deserving of it, while Hope has true power that she is yet to discover. Although the underground lives on as a symbol of hope, the society is soon to crumble under Valeria's chase, like a moth to a flame. Among Valeria's inheritance was her grandfather's study, full of books of ancient myth that reveal which treasures long forgotten, buried beneath the island, can guide her. After Valeria uses just the right stone, and the ground quakes as a giant hand erupts from the bellows below. The hand of a titan. Dude, I forgot how big this season was. Like, season 1, season 2, 3, and 4 were all incredible. Like Myths and Mortals, the Car season, and then the next Marvel season. My god, dude, I forgot how good this one was. If you didn't like the Car season, I get it. But, like, I played a lot of Mad Max when I was younger. So, that's why. This season 2 is titled Myths and Mortals. is chained to great power. In the heat of battle, we shoot it down and soon discover Pandora's box, unleashing the gods upon us. While the society and Valeria ran away, barely escaping the ire of the gods, we must fight them head-on. Hope will soon discover her ancestry, and so will the island, as godly myths wage war on mortal kind. The divine lands of the living and the dead descend onto our island, each with a handful of deities. Split by the glowing river Styx, a passing green current of endless souls. The underworld is the domain of Hades and his wife Persephone, guarded by their dear dog, Cerberus. If you know anything about Greek mythology, this is all going to be very normal sounding, While these fields may seem desolate, they represent a peaceful rest for mortals passing from one life to the next. So long as you remember to pay Charon, there's lots of names for him. Ferryman Alcars. If you know, you know. If you know what I'm talking about, I might do a read through of that. I'm not gonna say what it is, but Ferryman Alcars. Rob, if you know, you know. And his boat, their dues before his retirement. If you happen to cross the river Styx while living, its souls will give you 3 dashes to use in a battle, a blessing from the damned. Across from the barren underworld are the fields of Elysium, overlooked by Mount Olympus, the land where gods, and only those they deem worthy, shall spend their afterlife. The king of gods, Zeus, uses his thunder and a massive helmed statue in his image to scare all beneath him, while the god of the seas, Poseidon, rises all tides for coral buddies big and small, and the god of love, Aphrodite, just shares some well-needed compassion in a ruthless pantheon. Long ago, Aphrodite, I'm gonna say Aphrodite, I don't know if it's Aphrodite, but I think it's Aphrodite, I don't remember though, it's been a while. Aphrodite just shares, long ago Aphrodite recalls gods and mortals living in harmony. However, something changed in Zeus that created his bitter hatred for mortal kind, one that is not shared by Aphrodite and his other children. While most gods are reclusive, some share their gifts with us. Ares, the god of war, can be found in Brawler's battleground, and the god of the hunt, Artemis, spars with us too, calling us little mouses. Other myths also guide us in battle, such as protections from the sun god Apollo, brother of Artemis, and the flaming wings of Icarus. Oh my god, dude. The wings of Icarus were so much fun, I forgot about that. Damn. What a good chapter. I can't believe some people dislike this chapter. However, Medusa is our closest ally in the coming battle. She was once cursed, bestowed with the power of stone sight, the ability to turn anyone into statues, something she sees as a gift. The mortal hero Perseus then saved Medusa from the gods after she stood against them, an ally she greatly respects. A prophecy foretells darkened skies and choking dust, and the oracle calls upon us via her scrying pool to soon become heroes. To prove humanity's worth to the gods and make allies, we must complete her test of strength, agility, and wisdom. Like guessing bananas as the god's favorite fruit, Aphrodite has grown fond of mortals and wishes to protect us, while others, like Poseidon, are still in doubt. To catch the attention of Hades, king of the underworld, we send him souls. He believes we're too weak to beat his brother Zeus. As such, he offers a duel with Cerberus to prove ourselves at Grim Gate, and in doing so, we've earned his respect. Lastly, we fight Ares, asking for battle in his unusually loud nature, and he warns Zeus of the threat we pose. However, we've yet to build our stand against him. After facing each of Zeus's allies in battle, they leave aspects of themselves behind, ones that we can use to grow in power, much like the society's medallions, but it won't be enough. The gods have lived unbeaten for thousands of years, and so has their lineage. In fact, each member of the society is a descendant of the gods, including Hope and Valeria. They owe their true power to the Pantheon, while we unearth that power for ourselves. I did not know that. That's crazy, that the society only got their power because they were sons and daughters of gods. That's so cool. sick. Anyways, sorry. Meanwhile, the underworld keeps a trespasser, Midas. His past crew had been searching for him, led by Brutus, yet not even they could heist a soul from the afterlife, until Marigold heard whispers of his cell, convincing Sky, Tiantina, and Meowscles. Previously a false ghost, Midas is now truly undead. As usual, he made use of a war's distraction and escaped his cell, hidden deep within the underground until it was unveiled. The golden touch was suppressed by chains with the essence of Hades himself. Midas' daughter Jules had already moved on while equipping the island to fight the gods. However, now reunited with Midas, she hopes to workshop his chains into a way to control his curse, before the family sails to new adventures on the Marigold yacht. The Oracle says we must convince the immortals to join us before prophecies become true, and Zeus unveils his true plan against our mortal kind. Even though Aphrodite believes in humanity, see, I say both, I say Aphrodite and Aphrodite. I think it kind of depends on how well it melds in the sentence, because like even though Aphrodite, you know, even though Aphrodite believes in humanity, she still has doubts about Zeus's power. With her help, we decipher stone edicts, messages sent by Zeus himself to allies he wishes to gather just like us. Zeus sends edicts. I don't know, man. I wouldn't trust an edict from Zeus. That's all I'm saying. Aphrodite is the first to receive one, warning of Zeus's wrath if she supports mortals. She reconsiders her immortality until Poseidon, the second receiver of the edict, helps cheer her up and joins the battle to protect his oceans. Artemis is sent the third edict, but it gets lost and is found by Pele instead. That's funny. But it is like, I don't know what this is. Why is he threatening me? We take this chance to find Pele a new home, as after his kidnapping, he's been rather lost in the world. By doing so, Aphrodite sees mortal kind as selfless and fully commits to our cause. However, she still believes that Artemis should join our battle. Artemis practices the eternal hunt, a principle that sees hunter and prey as equal in battle. But mortals are far from equal to the gods. Since Zeus goes against what is sacred to her, Artemis agrees to champion our cause, and will side with us mortals instead. The fourth and final edict, translated by the Oracle, reveals the truth behind Zeus's anger. The oracles of Olympus once prophesied that Zeus's reign on Olympus would end at the hands of mortals. This is why Zeus had hoped to stop us, since opening Pandora's box, the first step on our odyssey. To sabotage us, Zeus asks his brothers Hades to command Cerberus and dig up dirt on our ranks, but we find his toys and earn his trust. Seeking more allies, the Oracle sees two heroes in our fate, Hope and Medusa. After defeating the Society, Hope thinks of the gods as just more tyrants to topple, while Medusa, once saved by the mortal Perseus, will fight for his kind. Hell yeah moment. This is a long-ass thing. I'm like shocked. There's like so much lore in this, I didn't realize. Medusa used to be an artisan of Olympus, where we can find her work displayed, such as golden fleece statues and Perseus's shattered harp. However, we also find new items created by Hephaestus, made after Zeus banned Medusa due to her stone curse. Hourglasses resonating with his own godly essence. After bringing them to Medusa, we discover the true source of immortality. Zeus forged artifacts imbued with his own power to increase his immortal lifespan, a gambit made by his fear of the mortal prophecy. Each hourglass counting to the end of mortal kind before Zeus strikes, unless we strike first. By destroying the biggest storm-forged hourglass, we turn Zeus and his entire pantheon into mortals. We face Zeus at his throne and defeat him at last, yet the king of gods is not one to give up. Excuse me. His statue, the sculpted knight looming over Mount Olympus, also imbued with his power, charges up his thunder, while Pandora's box resurfaces in the river Styx. In one final bitter attempt to destroy mortals, Zeus strikes Pandora's box with his own lightning, but it bounces bounces off, causing the box to sink and hitting a nearby desert instead, creating a towering sandstorm. A shark ship surfs the sandstorm, and the Wanderer draws near. Zeus and others flee, some gods stay, and hope remains as the last of Pandora to guide us in the coming battle for the fire of the gods. Cinema. That's all I gotta say. But this brings us into season 3 titled Wrecked. I love this season. A lot of people didn't. I get it. That's all I'm saying, you know. So, season 3 Wrecked. Hope and Jones ask for our help as an entire band of wastelanders park their rigs on the island. Megalodon arrives with his ship, the Leviathan, promising to become our new benevolent ruler. His only power comes from the tubes of nitro in his suits, a substance discovered after the gods fell, which also happens to be the source of his wheezing voice, now transmitted across the radios. Even though Pandora's box is missing, Hope believes it might be involved. For now, we drive alongside Bright Raider and Rust to the maddest of tuned-up cars, boosting through new locations built from scrap and steel, the Nitrodrome, led by Ringmaster's car, and the workshop ran by the 3 Peabody brothers. The Leviathan spent all of its fuel traveling from the island's outskirts and has to be refueled. To do so, the machinist, Megalodon's inventor, has built a system of lines leading up to the ship called the pipeline. The machinist is split between her work and defending Redline Rig, where she refines nitro, the only fuel capable of boosting the Leviathan to the lengths which Megalodon desires. He announces that when the ship is made functional again, the Leviathan will break the island in two, swimming through the earth effortlessly. While hoping to stop him, Jones, still bitter after Peely's abduction, considers Hope's family and history with Pandora as nothing but trouble. Had Valeria not opened the box, Nitro might not even exist. Now, Hope gets to prove herself as a hero, as chatter among the wasteland reveals that gems fell from Pandora's box and were scattered by the river, and Hope finds a tablet to insert them. We have to recover the gems with Hope before their godly power entices bad actors. The first one can be stolen from the Leviathan's open mouth. However, 4 gemstones have been rumored to be found. Our next can be found in the Nitrodrome, where we perform a stunt so impressive that Ringmaster's car trades us for it. The third is with Peabody, who agreed to trade it in exchange for training his new assistant, Dummy. The final gem was hidden by Megalodon himself among the sands. Hope had always been an artist, even in the underground days, but now, with the gems combined, they reveal her hobby to be something more. Godly visions made real through paintings. After all gems are recovered and the tablet is complete, the Oracle's water ghost reappears to guide Hope, while Megalodon has a guide of his own, one often featured in Hope's visions of art, the Wanderer, an imposing figure hidden by a gray cloak. Tough. Mr. Tough himself, Mr. Oro Farming himself too, by the way. That appears untrue. With the pipeline fully operational, and the gems of Pandora giving Hope headaches of temptation, Megalodon's plan ignites, and in a matter of minutes, the entire pipeline, Leviathan, and Redline Ring explode. All systems were sabotaged and exploded from sheer pressure. Pandora's box is unearthed from Redline Rig, and is revealed to have been the source of nitro all along. As mysteries begin to unravel, they all converge on the Wanderer. One of the many visitors that adapted to the wasteland was Magneto, a powerful mutant. His mission was to unearth a laboratory found deep within the islands of snow, one from his world. After unleashing Weapon X from his lab, Hope talks to Magneto about what really happened to the pipeline. In the last moments, a green hologram of a hooded figure appeared, the Wanderer, one familiar to Magneto. The Oracle tells Hope that she was meant to find Pandora's box all along, for she was the true prophecy. If the presence of the Wanderer has misaligned the stars, rewriting the prophecy, creating a future uncertain and filled with doom. Damn. As Magneto prepares beacons to call upon the heroes of this world, we face a villain wielding the true power of a now opened Pandora's box. Doom. Season 4, Absolute Doom. This one was really good. Oh my god, dude. This chapter was so good. I forgot about this. Just wow, you know. Anyways, yeah. This will be the last one. And then that'll be it until the chapter 6 one comes out. So, I hope you all enjoyed the ride. I'll still do everything else at the end. But, I hope you all enjoyed this a lot as much as I did. I do a lot. More neck cracking for you. Oh, there you go. The Wanderer's cloak is unveiled at last, and Dr. Doom has arrived. Disguised as the Wanderer, he whispered delusions of grandeur to Megalodon, but ended up sabotaging his rule. Instead, shaping the island into his own kingdom of doom. Master of the arcane arts, Doom is a nemesis of vast intellect, and the latest tyrant that Hope, now with her own heroic suit, is fated to stop. At the ruins of Red Line Rig, by the foot of a now empty Pandora's box, Doom has left his mask for us to find, as a warning. During the Zero War, Doom had been chosen by the IO to assist in their battle against the heroes of Reality 616, some of which have returned to our aid. Shuri, the Black Panther, and our once savior Iron Man. Newcomers include, quote, stop calling me Deadpool, Gwenpool, the Starstruck War Machine, and the Potassium Fury Peelverine, a banana reborn from the Weapon X lab. Now our own Captain Jones, wielding the borrowed shield of Captain America, sets tape recorders scattered across Doom's many places of rule, such as a statue of his mother and the fractured symbol of the Fantastic Four, to discover his true intent. The IO's mission of perfecting the world was little compared to Doom's vision of a truly flawless kingdom, one which, with the power of Pandora's box, he has built overnight. Places among Doom's island include the Raft, a high-security prison which he once kept Emma Frost, who now rules it as her own hidden kingdom, and Meowtooth, Peelverine's nemesis. Meanwhile, Hope is overwhelmed by the chaos, but motivated. While guided by Jones and the Oracle to find Doom in hiding, she believes his minions can reveal his whereabouts. Doombots, remotely controlled androids, which Hope means to shut down, and the best of which now guards Castle Doom. Inside the castle, its ruler has kept each member of his greatest foes, the Fantastic Four, displayed in dire conditions. The Human Torch's heart as his fireplace, like heart, like what the? Mr. Fantastic contorted into a ball, the Invisible Woman kept in a glass coffin, and the Clobbered Thing as his very own throne. Insane. He just demolishes them, and he's just like, wow. However, even after achieving his greatest desires, Doom fails to resist Pandora's calling. He can wield more power, only if his armor is to be upgraded. Doomstadt, Doom's suburbia of propaganda, is also guarded by Doombots, and among its streets, War Machine finds shipping crates with pieces of Pandora's box being sent to the Monarch's home. Beside the castle, Doom has built a forge of runes belonging to an underworld beyond ours, one governed not by Hades, but by Mephisto. Doom once lost his mother in a deal made with this devil, but his newfound power is the same godhood. Much like Hope, Doom was overwhelmed by Pandora's box, his old armor unable to sustain its power for long. He wishes to forge a new set, one that is already nearing completion. Shuri believes that by recalibrating Magneto's rift beacons, she can blast Doom back into their universe and away from Pandora. As we turn the beacons online, we test their power on the castle's Doombot, only to hear laughter instead, Doom's mockery. His allies, Emma Frost and Mysterio, have already sabotaged our beacons. We head to Doomstadt to find Mysterio and unearth his illusions. Doom City is of concerning perfection is revealed to be held by Mysterio's false projections upon loopers, even those of the wasteland. Hope is furious at Mysterio's disregard for the island's free will and helps us defeat him, not before painting the town blue with her art. Our last target is Emma Frost, a powerful telepath. With some help from Iron Man, we installed dampeners around the raft to weaken her and use Stark technology to beat her, but it may already be too late. Shuri has fixed the beacons, and they have detected the presence of a giant. Doom is already here, and much earlier than Hope had expected. Doom marches down the island, armored by Pandora's box, as a tyrant which Hope must face head-on. She is terrified of the prophecies the Oracle has placed upon her, but she also helps Hope to see that her newfound powers of leadership are enough. After Doom strikes Jones with a near-death blow, Hope picks up his shield as the massive hand of Doom takes her to meet his eyes. Hope cracks Doom's right eye open, making him just as furious as she is, and sacrificing her right arm. After we stall Doom just long enough, we give Shuri and Jones a chance to set up the rift beacons, and they work. Doom's mask falls upon the barren waste, and so does Pandora's power, as he and our heroes return to their homes, and Hope is forever changed. Oh yeah, and then there's like a very short mini season, that was chapter 2 remix. So, yeah, it's just remix, titled The Painted Tribute. So, the island is saved, yet Hope wishes nothing more than to see Valeria again, to be reunited with her sister, and consider forgiveness. As the effects of Pandora's box begin to dwindle, but not completely fade, Hope takes a minute to relax with some art. She heads to ruined rails where the Titan's hand first emerged and paints a picture of music on the theater's film screen. Her art, powered by godly visions, takes us on a trip to the past. Just as Cato Thorne's time machine once took us to the beginning, we find ourselves in the middle. The island of floods and spies has returned, but with a twist. Meowdis, Undercover Sky, One Ball, and Chaos Director have arrived. Instead, and familiar places like the Shark and the Agency are now inhabited by music legends of worlds beyond, while preparing the island for a tribute. Now we get to flip the record like the island itself and play the finale, during which, amid beautiful songs, zero shards rain from the sky. And that's it. That's all of the Fortnite lore up until, when Chapter 6 comes out, which I will absolutely do a video on that, because, why not? So, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. This is kind of a long video. It's about an hour right now. So, thank you all so much. I hope you have a lovely evening. And I will probably do a video tomorrow. We'll see. I have yet to decide on what it's going to be. I'm going to take a look at some comments, get some ideas. Some people did say they wanted to see some Minecraft stuff, so I might do that. I did see some gaming. I had they would love to see some gaming too. So, we will see. But with that, I hope you all have a lovely evening. Hope you all sleep very well.